The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contest, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
I love Burger King French toast.
Hey, you're wolfing them down pretty good. And you got your little caramel frappe thingamabob.
Yeah, I feel all fancy, right?
Yeah, man, I didn't have a taste for much anything this morning. I'm eating too many biscuits, man. I got to get away. You know, we live in the South. I know a lot of regions don't do like biscuit sandwiches for breakfast, but we do, and it'll soften your midsection up.
Sometimes people don't think it'd be like that, but it do.
Yeah, it does.
All right, well, I guess we're going to answer some questions for Mail Call.
Yeah, dude, I love Mail Call. I love the feedback. I love the questions. I love the intrigue. It's been a good week of podcasting too, man.
You think so?
Well, last night yesterday was awesome. El Chupacabra, we had some. It seems like we had more fun after we got done talking about El Chupacabra and Fear the Walking Dead.
El Chupacabra, whatever. Spanish for the Chupacabra.
Right, the Chupacabra. But nah, man, been a fun week.
I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
And we got a bowl full of paper.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. You go ahead, man.
Oh. All right, I got a small one. Started out with a quickie. This one is from Heidi. You know how much I love Heidi.
You know how much I love quickies.
Yeah, my friend Jonathan's cat name was Heidi. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say your friend Jonathan's cat name was Quickie.
No.
I was going to say, and I apologize for talking with a mouthful of food, but I'm going to say that's a very unique cat name, Quickie. I'm going to use that.
All right, Heidi, who, by the way, says, I'm in Finland. It was close. Sweden is our neighbor.
Cool.
My question, do you have any hidden talents? I write poems and song lyrics sometimes. I've never been brave enough to send them anywhere. Only a few people have ever seen them.
JP, what are your hidden talents?
I'm double jointed, even down to my my penis, and that's not a joke. That's just a true thing. It bends both ways. I guess that's not a talent though, right? That's just a weird thing. I like to write too, Heidi. I haven't done it as much lately just because my brain is slowly deteriorating. You know, I'm getting older, and drugs have caught up with me. Not the bad drugs, only the good ones. Which, if my brain's deteriorating, I guess they're not so good. Maybe.
You don't really do that many drugs.
No, you're right. I exaggerate. No, man. I mean, writing's like anything else, as you know. It's you only get better and stay good at it if you're doing it all the time. I think I've read if you really want to take writing seriously, you need to dedicate like 3 hours a day to nothing but writing.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but hidden talents, man. I don't think I have any hidden or I don't think I have any talents, period. I mean,
I don't think I have any talents either.
So, I mean, you think of talents, you think of like juggling or singing. I mean, you can play a little ditty on the guitar. You got that going for you.
Yeah, I can play guitar and I write, but I can bend my finger all the way back.
Yeah, so you got a little bit of that double jointedness going too. I think I got Marfan syndrome, man. I think I got a slight case of that.
I don't even know what that is, but I know that they only gave me one thing of syrup for my French toast sticks. Yes, for the bigger one, I need two, and not too happy about that.
Well, maybe next time.
Thank you for your question, Heidi. Let's move along.
And greetings to everyone in Finland.
Let's see. If we get to Brienne's, there's a lot on there. I think we're going to save that one.
So
we can just roll right on through. So this one's from Corey Andros. Poor Corey. Corey, I'm going to go ahead out the gate here and let you in on a little secret. So the first thing Corey says is, JP, Volbeat is sick. You would dig them. Check out their new tune, Pelvis on Fire, and tell me it's not glorious. Corey, from me, who does like hard rock and metal, I do like Pelvis on Fire. Volbeat rocks. JP, don't even waste your time trying to get JP into the hard rock. Not saying that JP doesn't like some hard rock, but JP primarily digs alternative if you're going the rock route, more alternative rock, but mostly JP's passion is in like outlaw country music and
like
stuff
folk
like that.
music. Like I don't know, man. That stuff's just too noisy.
Volbeat's not something you're going to convince JP to like, but I do agree with you, Corey. Pelvis on Fire is a great tune.
Pelvis on Fire. That sounds like you just been just humping and humping and humping, and you're so hairy that it gets to chafing, and next thing you know, you're burning and.
I don't get the hairy part.
Well,
but
I got a hairy pelvis.
I mean, I could see the thrusting the pelvis, and then, of course, it starts burning because, I mean, anyone that's, like, stayed up all night having sex knows that sometimes your pelvis do be getting sore, and that, pelvis on fire. But anyways.
I like Lampshades on Fire by Modest Mouse.
That's what I was talking about. Your rock, the rock that you like is more alternative rock.
Or classic rock. I love, like, Led
he does,
Zeppelin,
like, the Rolling Stones, stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I grew up on classic rock. But
newer hard rock bands you're not going to get him into. I've been trying for years. It's not going to happen.
The heavier stuff, man, it's too noisy for me.
But anyways, moving forward, if you could only choose to indulge in either alcohol or marijuana for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
For me, it'd be Mary Jane.
Yeah, I'm going with marijuana, too. I mean, I do enjoy drinking, but at least with marijuana, there can be like some medicinal value to it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And in alcohol, I mean, I'm not saying there hadn't been some benefits. I've got some great stories, but I mean, I've been arrested. I lost my license for a year. Alcohol got me kicked out of college. I woke up in strange situations with strange people. So
you could use alcohol if it was a strong enough alcohol to treat a wound, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Have some medical use.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you pour some like Everclear in a wound, I guess. But no, I was weed is kind of what helped me sort of swerve away from alcohol, because alcohol is how I dealt with my social anxiety, coming out of high school and everything. And
I always find if I'm nervous or like I have to go on stage or around a bunch of people, having a beer or two to take the edge off is always great.
Yeah, it can be. That's when I do stand up though. I might smoke a little bit like an hour before, but I really don't. When I drink, man, I sometimes get the mush mouth and stuff, and so I try to stay away from it.
I like looking from the outside in. I like me high better than I like me drunk, if that makes any sense. Like me high is, I mean it. There are times where you wouldn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm able to function. It just kind of takes the edge off, gets rid of some anxiety. I enjoy it. Whereas me drunk, I'd be getting annoying.
And
but
generally, if you want to turn off being high, just have a couple double cheeseburgers and you're straight.
You get
absolutely. Drunk. I mean, you're in it. You're
in it to the end.
Yeah, there ain't no just reducing that blood alcohol content.
You drunkenly say to your friend, "We're in it to win it."
Although, man, I hit like a Cali grade vape pen the other night at the brewery, man, and I was in it for
those
a good
will get
while,
you there,
man.
man, absolutely.
It was very potent.
You got to be careful though. Make sure you're getting them from the right place.
Yeah,
or where they're legal.
It was from a Filipino, so I trust him.
But with that said, I still like to drink. I like me drinking if I'm in charge of it, but I don't like the way I lose control. If I lose control with Mary Jane, I'm just going to go to sleep.
Right.
Like that's losing control with Mary Jane. Like I'm just going to sit on the couch, stare at the wall for a while, and eventually just close my eyes and be out. Whereas with alcohol, I'll tell you a billion times how much I love you, or refuse to know when to quit, or just So yeah, if I could only have one, it would definitely be the Mary Jane.
If I'm drinking for stress or something,
which is never really a good idea if you're going to have a lot. If you're going to drink for stress, man, I find like stress drinking, if I'm having a rough day, a just straight whiskey, like one, knocks the edge off, makes you feel good, but is as much as you need to kind of anything past that, you're just going to get drunk and dwell on your problems. So at least that's how my brain works.
I mean, it does what it says it's, but you don't.
If you could travel back to any point in time, what era or decade would you go to?
Ooh, I feel like we've answered this before. I would go way back to like pre-civilization to see exactly how this whole thing started.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last podcast, didn't we? Because I had said if that's the case, I'd love to go back just to the beginning of time and see what started it.
Because at first you had kept it within fairly modern history, and then we really went deep and
because it'd be cool to go see the Gettysburg Address, or
right.
Excuse me, I know I'm rude. Stuff like that. But, I mean, if we're talking wherever we want, hell, I want to see how it all began.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. The 60s seems like that would have been a lot of fun. I mean, just pre-HIV, just not
having sex with whoever.
The only thing that would suck is, there was a lot more pubic hair back then. So, but, I mean, whatever. Just less cunnilingus, I guess.
I'm sure some rebels out there were shaving.
Yeah, I'm sure there were some, but I mean, you see some pictures, man, just chicks with full on like armpit hair and all that stuff. And
I don't think American women started really shaving. I think I had read that American women didn't really start shaving like legs, pits, toes, stuff like that until like the very early 1900s. So, I mean, even you go back in like to the 1800s in the Wild West, odds are Dorothy's got some hairy legs. And
man.
A bush you need a weed whacker to get through.
Armpit hair is coming back for the gals. Have you seen pictures like dyeing it and all this stuff?
Yeah.
This goth girl I hooked up with a few years ago, man, she's all about like the transmorphia and all that stuff.
I'm all for being who you want to be, but that does not mean that I have to be turned on by it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to grow pit hair, it's your life, your pits. You grow what you want, but but I'm not attracted to that. So if I'm not attracted to that, I don't expect to be called a bigot or an asshole. You know what I mean?
And keep in mind, this was a Richmond girl, and you know how Richmond girls are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a very. It was a weird Richmond trip. That much I can tell you.
Sounds worth it.
If we ever get my pal Josiah on the podcast, he can explain it better than I can because, once again, I was a little blacked out.
I've been there. If the world was hit with a 28 days later virus, how long until every one of us was kaput?
Oh, man, we were just talking about something like that yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, speak for yourself. I'm not going to be kaput.
You think you'd make it?
I know I'm going to make it.
But I think if you're just talking about how long would it take civilization to collapse?
I say that, and I will literally be the patient zero. Say, I know I'm going to survive. I'll be the one who starts the spread. I'll be the first casualty of the thing. But I've got a couple of plans in place. I mean, I'm not one of those doomsday preppers, but I mean, I've thought about, okay, if some schnit happened, what will we do? I mean, it was kind of eye-opening, too. Last year, we had that big hurricane that just, luckily, it didn't do much other than flood my backyard, but it kind of came out of nowhere, and you didn't really have like a day or two to get ready, and it made me realize, like, man, I need to be more prepared just for emergencies in general. So,
yeah,
I like to think I'd be okay, but I don't know. I honestly don't think the zombie apocalypse would be as devastating to humanity as movies and TV make it out to be. I think it might spread a little bit, and I feel like the military would contain it faster. Sadly, that's the nature of reality. It's not as exciting as TV. I mean, TV and entertainment needs it to consume the world to create a good story. I feel like in real life, I always find it funny that in zombie apocalypse stories, mine included, whole hordes of military can't take these things out, but some survivors, some small, normal, everyday civilians somehow have the skills necessary to,
Yeah, man.
And they explain it well. Don't get me wrong. That's not something to pick apart. Like, believe me, I've been into the zombie lore since I was a preteen. So, I mean, I do get how, like, oh, no, they're all in one place and I get all of that. I'm just saying. I think in real life, it would be contained faster than we would think.
If it were to go down, I think it'd definitely have to be like a 28 days later type of
one.
Virus,
oh, yeah. That's the only one that would actually, like, Walking Dead virus, man. I mean, good Lord. SEAL Team 6 could probably stop the apocalypse with those zombies. But, yeah, I agree with you. 28-day later zombies would be the ones that would spread it because them things are fast.
Yeah, man.
And it takes only like a second to infect you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the World War Z zombies. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw it. I wasn't impressed.
No, it was not a good movie. But those zombies spread fast as shit, too.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like,
when they had, like, that wall around Israel or whatever, and they just, like a swarm of ants or something.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, you know what? Good job, Corey. Yeah, I guess if it was a good job for using, I guess in my mind, I was just thinking zombie apocalypse. Good job for being specific with 28 days later, because that really is one of the only. If that was the virus, I still feel like the military could contain it. Mm-hmm. But, that's
unless
just my thought.
Airborne, then we're all screwed.
Oh, yeah. If it was just something you breathe in,
yeah.
That's the reason why I think the military could contain it, because they have to, spit the blood on them or bite them or whatever. And I feel like the military could just set up in a helicopter and just take them all out. Of course, in the movie, something always goes wrong. Yeah. Like the guy accidentally shoots the pilot and they go down, or the pilot gets distracted looking at it. Always is something.
Something I still need to send your way, man, is Crossed. It's Garth Ennis, a comic book dude, and it's just like you're still like lucid in a sense, but you're just like so depraved. Like, I mean, they're like jerking off in a bucket and soaking their bullets in it just because any kind of fluid, infects you. Yeah. And you just become...
Do they do that in the comic?
Yeah.
You've been telling me about that for a while. I would love to read it.
Yeah, man.
In my story, you were still aware, but you had no control. Like the zombie worm took over your brain, but it didn't kill you.
Right.
And so that was what made more drama, was like your friends coming at you trying to eat you. I mean, really, you'll never be able to save them, but they're in there the whole time. Makes it a little bit harder to just kill them. What is your favorite Family Guy episode, or one that always sticks with you? Big Man on Hippocampus when Peter gets amnesia is probably my all-time fave. Just a laugh riot. Oh, man. That's a good question. I don't know.
Dude, I haven't watched that. Like, I used to watch Family Guy a lot. I haven't really watched it much in recent years. It'd definitely be an early episode.
I like the time traveling episode where Stewie and Brian go back to like the very first episode and different points in Family Guy history. That's probably one of my favorites.
I like the one. And it's not super early, but I like the one with Frank Sinatra Jr. where they become like lounge singers, and there was another one where they like set up a bar in the basement of the house. I don't think that's the same episode. I said it's been a long time since I've really watched Family Guy. I'm sorry.
I just remember parts of it. I don't remember what constitutes like an entire episode.
Kind of bleeding together for me.
Yeah, like I love. I guess it was a newer one, but the one with Brian, where Stewie created a clone of Brian, or a robot Brian. Basically, it was like Brian's walking biography.
Yeah.
And Brian, excuse my language here, but essentially fucked himself. And Stewie's like, "So what happened last night? You had a little fun?" And then he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I put a collision sensor or something in his rear end, and it shows Stewie laying in bed sleeping, and you just hear doop, 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 doop. Like, Brian was tearing that butt up, tearing his own. I guess it would. I was gonna say, is it gay if you fuck yourself? But I guess Brian was doing himself. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the question of Brian might not be gay, but, I mean, it's definitely like homosexual sex because you're having sex with a man. But it's interesting. Would you do yourself? I know that you've never, all the joking aside, I don't think JP really has that many homosexual desires. I just think it's fun to play. But, I mean, all jokes aside, would you be willing to sleep with a clone of yourself?
No, I disgust myself, man. I would. I
guess that's why we podcast together. I swear to God, that was my response. Was I find myself too? I'm disgusted by myself.
Right.
I couldn't do that. Let's see. What do you guys want to? Who do you guys want to see play Green Lantern in the inevitable reboot that they're going to do? You're right. That's one that's definitely going to happen. I'm surprised it hadn't happened sooner, to be honest. I was surprised they hadn't got it done in time to have Green Lantern in the Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's who would be
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah,
I mean, Hal Jordan and Ryan Reynolds' personalities, though, do kind of go hand in hand. Like, especially if you watch some of the animated Justice League movies on like Netflix, and because that's one thing I'll give DC. Like, Marvel's got them beat in the movie department.
Yeah.
And the comic department kind of, for me, is a draw down the middle. I don't know. There's certain Marvel titles I like better and certain DC titles I like better. I can't really say who's killing it between the two right now. Marvel has a lot that I really don't care for, and at the same time, so does DC. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to movies, I think we can all say Marvel's destroying DC on the movie scene. But the one thing DC's got is their animated flicks are way better. In my opinion.
Yeah, they are. I haven't watched many of the recent ones.
But Hal Jordan has that Ryan Reynolds kind of sarcastic personality. But if not that, I don't know.
If Chris Pine wasn't already playing whatever his name is in the Wonder Woman movies, I could see him doing it.
Yeah, he was on Star Trek, right?
Yeah, Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Did he specifically say Hal Jordan or just Green Lantern?
I think he just said Green Lantern. Yeah, he didn't say Hal Jordan.
Because I wouldn't mind seeing like Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern in the 90s. Like Hal Jordan goes crazy and kills all the Green Lanterns, and that was kind of like the Green Lantern I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And but I can't think who would be good to play him either. He's like an artist and maybe bisexual. I can't remember.
Yeah, you're right. No, there was a Green Lantern that was either he was bisexual or gay. I remember that.
Well, in the 90s, he was definitely slamming chicks, but I think in recent
I remember
years,
there being a gay Green Lantern, or at least a bisexual one.
Yeah, it's not Jon Stewart. That's the black one who was like a Marine. And
I can see Idris Elba playing him.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be
Idris
great
Elba
casting for him.
Anybody, man. He's so fantastic.
Who? What?
Idris Elba.
Oh yeah, he really could. He could play anyone. He's a great actor. He played a good asshole on The Office, man, because I love Idris Elba and I hated him on The Office, but like not him. I hated his character. He was such. I mean, really, when you look at it too, he was actually a good manager. Like he just was no nonsense. He came in there to get the job done, and that was it. And, he was kind of an ass to Jim, but, I mean, let's be honest, sometimes Jim's an ass, so it just kind of, but he did such a good job of making me not like him. I actually really liked him as Roland. Did you watch the Dark Tower movie?
I didn't see it, man.
I didn't think the movie was all that great. However, I thought Matthew McConaughey as the Man in Black. As someone who reads the books, I thought Matthew McConaughey as the Man in Black was great. And Idris Elba as Roland was pretty badass.
No, I was one of the few people who, kind of liked the Green Lantern movie. Maybe it's because I was always a Green Lantern fan, but maybe. I don't know, man. I kind of understood the lore that went into it. Maybe if I rewatched it, I wouldn't be as stoked. But
I mean, I'm not going to say it sucked. Green Lantern's never been one of my favorites. So, I mean, watching the movie, I didn't particularly like it, but I didn't.
I'm telling you, man, Grant Morrison's doing a really good run on Green Lantern in the comics right now. It's very like. It reminds you of like an Alan Moore comic, like 80s sci-fi. It's really cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry we can't give you an answer. We got to think of somebody before we sign off. Even if we don't, just throw someone out there. You don't have to think, you know what I mean? You might think of someone better, but throw someone out there for this. I don't like leaving questions that they ask open-ended.
God, that's tough.
I like the Chris Pine thing, man. I hate that he is playing the Wonder Woman because he really would. I could see that. Idris Elba, like you said, if we're doing the other Green Lantern, Idris Elba would be great as Jon Stewart. But as far as a Hal Jordan, I don't know, man. That's, excuse me. Let's see. I'm going to go with Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, man. I mean, he doesn't look like Hal Jordan. He's not muscular or tough. But number one, it's just hard to not like Paul Rudd in anything he does. And two, I could see him nailing the Hal Jordan personality.
I'm going to go with like 1989 Mel Gibson. Just like Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson in his prime. I'm going to go with that.
And brightest day, darkest night, freedom. All right. And says, always a pleasure listening. Enjoy the weekend and be safe. Hey, thank you so much, Corey. We appreciate your question.
Mm-hmm. Man, that makes me want to watch Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I like Lethal Weapon. It's been a while. Yeah. You want crazy? You want crazy?
Reaching into the bowl. I hope I didn't grab two at once. And I didn't. Okay, this one's from Brian Akeem. People are really hating on Fear. Do you think they should end it in season 6?
No, I think they should just have better writers.
Yeah, I mean, if they can't do any better, then yeah. But I mean, I totally think it's salvageable. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's derailed to the point it can't be saved right now. I think that they need to get on the ball and get some better writing.
Right. But if all they're going to do is give us more of the same, then just end it in 6 and like have it conclude having something to do with the Rick movie or something.
Right.
But that's not what I want to happen. I want to see a turnaround. And I want to be able to, love it again. So.
We're just tired of the help-offs. Like things that off works with. We like dance-offs. Mm-hmm. We like stare-offs. Staring contest, isn't that?
Jerking off.
Heard of it. Jerking off. Yeah. I swear, you stop stealing my jokes. Yeah. I swear on my mother. Yeah, I really have been working on some things, and I was going to use, basically, there's this comedy principle of the rule of threes where you do 3 things, and that was going to be my thing, was dance-offs, stare-offs. I think those are a thing. Jerking off, and then you just completely stole it from
I
me.
remember one time, it was one of the first podcasts I did, and you did the same thing to me. You totally killed my punchline. It was my bit about, if octopus are octopi and cactus are cacti, and then you just straight up said, oh yeah, clitoris, clitori, and I was like, son of a bitch! That's my newest joke, and you just took all the air out of it.
Yeah, that was literally the only joke I had this entire podcast.
It was like
you just robbed me of it.
Well, it was just hanging out there.
But anyways, just like, that's why you jerked it. It was just hanging out.
Yeah, it was just hanging out there. Anytime someone's hanging out there, I'm going to grab it.
But anyways, we don't like help-offs, man. I can help people better than you. Okay, let me help you. No, I don't need your help. I don't quit the help thing, man. The Walking Dead was started by Frank Darabont as this dark, gritty show that we all loved. Season 1 was awesome. Season 1 of The Walking Dead is what I think every season should model itself off. Essentially, this is kind of a horror show. It doesn't have to be absolutely terrifying, but let's keep it in perspective here. This is about Walking Dead people who eat people. And The Walking Dead, that's why we like Season 9 so much, is because The Walking Dead has finally gotten back to that. Season 9 definitely had somewhat more of a horror feel to it. Definitely, and even if not horror, it had a dark, gritty feel to it that we love, that we expect from this show, that we kind of gotten away from. And Fear the Walking Dead needs to get back to that. This whole, we want to help people. I don't know. Just stop. And if you wanted to do that, that could have been like a half season. That whole thing should have wrapped up. We have the Walking Dead crew going against Logan, or the Fear the Walking Dead crew, on who can help better. Then another group, the Red Dead Redemption crew, shows up and kills Logan, and then is like, silly fools, we can help people more than he could. Oh my God! It should have ended.
Yeah, dude. I don't even know what's going on at this point.
But anyway, so no, don't cancel it. Just get your writing staff, clean house when it comes to the writing, and just find better writers.
Mm-hmm.
Get Scott Gimple away from it. I'm sure he's still sticking his hands in there.
Bring back Madison.
Bring back Madison. Yeah. This isn't a question, more of a statement, but it's a response to something that I said. Oh, yeah, talking about if you could go back in time. AH said, Justin's question of how the universe started. The universe always was and always will be. Where did the energy and mass come from before the Big Bang? Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. It was here all along. Thus, the Big Bang was just a shift in the universe. Very existential there. I like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm definitely familiar with the whole thing with energy. It was always there, just changes forms.
Definitely familiar with banging.
Right. I don't know. What was it? Did he have a question, or was that just...
No, that was just a response to something we talked about. And it kind of came full circle because earlier we were asking, because Corey Andros asked a question that was kind of asked last week about if you could go back and view anything in time, which Corey was more or less not saying necessarily viewing an event, I guess, just saying going back to a time. Yeah. But that kind of came full circle because that's what I. Yeah,
that question is interesting. Say you couldn't go back and observe just something specific. Say you had to go back and just live the rest of your life in one particular era.
That would be really tough.
Yeah.
You're going to spend forever there. I mean, you give up. Everybody wants to think I want to go live in the Wild West days, or I want to go back to the 60s. But I mean, number one, and I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not just pointing the finger at you, but your face is 80% in most of your time is spent looking at your phone.
Yeah.
You won't have your phone there. Do you think you could honestly survive without it?
And dude, imagine going to a dentist in the Wild West.
Oh, yeah.
They
might give you a shot of whiskey to numb the pain, but other than that, you just got to deal with it.
I mean, you break your arm, it might have to be amputated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
scary times. That's what people don't think about with the zombie apocalypse. I mean, if there's something like that were to happen, I mean, a simple scratch could take you out.
Yeah, man. That's
now, we get cat scratches or just scratches, and we're like, oh, a little Neosporin. Or even if you don't, you bathe every day, so you clean the wound. I mean, when you're kind of not showering as much and you don't have all access to all of these medicines, man, how bad would that be? Some people are going out and getting eaten by hordes of zombies and shot and blown up, and you're taken out by a paper cut.
Yeah. So I'm glad I got my wisdom teeth out. So I was just the system collapses, at least I don't have to worry about that.
I've thought of that. I have like a checklist of things I need to get done before the zombie apocalypse. I need LASIK surgery. I can see okay without my glasses, but I'm not as comfortable with it. You know, I would want to be able to have my sight just honed in.
Have you ever seen pictures of like people in third world countries? Like they have wisdom teeth that don't come out, and the root like just grows, and before you know it, it's like a tumor the size of a grapefruit just growing out the side of their face.
No, I've
something
never
as
seen
simple
that.
as just having like a tooth pulled. You know,
I've never had my wisdom teeth pulled, but I can feel them back there, but they've never hurt.
You might have room for them, man. Some people do.
Yeah, I mean, I got like a gap, I got a little space between my back tooth and. Yeah, I mean,
I did not, man. I saw the X-rays; they were just coming in like, my mouth was
just
gonna
full
explode.
steam ahead. Like, get the fuck out of my way.
There was no room, and I was 25 before I had mine out.
Just plowing right into your molars.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn. No, I just did the talking about the universe.
Well, come here, you. Golly.
You having trouble there, pal?
I got it. Okay, what do we got here?
What do we have? Tell me.
From Ronnie Wood. Have we talked to Ronnie Wood before?
I've seen him in the comments section here recently, but I don't know if we ever heard from him on Mail Call.
All right, well, Ronnie.
And Ronnie, not to interrupt you, JP, but Ronnie, if you have asked questions, not that you're forgettable, we just have some people that ask so many for so long that, of course, we get to know them. And if you have asked questions, eventually we will get to know you.
Yeah, and we love people jumping into this thing. So,
but let us know if that was your first question.
Yeah. Do you guys think that they will eventually merge The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead together in the future? What are your thoughts on that, guys? Great show.
I think they're going to have to.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they're going to have to. I think they're going to put more energy into the upcoming spinoff. Fear is just going to limp along until they do take a few key characters, put them on the main show, and go like that.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to have to. What kind of makes me sad but happy is that The Walking Dead is way further ahead than Fear the Walking Dead, and yet the Fear the Walking Dead crew's not there. So unless they're going to have some time jump and then catch up. But one cool thing is we do have that gap between Rick leaving and the present. So there is a chance in like those 6 years that they might have shown up and had some interaction. So they did leave themselves a little wiggle room there to play around if they ever wanted to do a crossover and it be more of a, because they think about that. They could do that on Fear the Walking Dead. They don't actually have to do it on The Walking Dead. Like they have 6 years of wiggle room there. They could actually bring a few of the cast members from The Walking Dead over to like Michonne or wherever, and it doesn't have to be. So they do have that option, and I think they did that on purpose. I think they definitely left it, with that in mind. So yeah, I think they're going to have to at some point.
Yeah, man. Did you see recently? I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan said he could see like 3 more solid seasons before The Walking Dead wraps up.
3? No, I didn't. So he guesses 3.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. If that's like word going around the campfire at AMC or whatever, because I've also read from like executives saying they see like 10 more years of Walking Dead.
Yeah, yeah. Scott Gimple or someone was like, there's no end in sight.
Right.
I don't know. With the comic ending, I mean, it is kind of probably scary for the writers because now they really do have to be straight up original. Mm-hmm. And we see what happened with Game of Thrones when they got away from, like when you get really away from the source material. Moving forward, Jeep. The Sierra is a good truck, Justin. Well, thank you, Jeep. I drive the Canyon, which is the little sister, but all the same. The only reason I have it's because they quit making the Ranger for a while. As you can tell, I like my trucks. But if I were going for a car to take for a twirl, it would be the GTO Judge for sure. The question about spending the night in the jungle reminded me Survivor starts this week. So mail call. If you could be either on Survivor, Master Chef, or The Amazing Race, which would you choose? Number one, Jeep. I love my trucks too. I have a little monster truck. It's a Toyota Tacoma. It's a Toyota pickup before they really started calling them Tacomas with like 7 inches of lift on it. It's ridiculous. It's like my truck. I just take through whatever. At the current moment, I'm driving a Dodge Journey Crossroad, which is Dodge Journeys themselves. I'm having an existential crisis with my vehicle. I might go trade it in on a Jeep. or I might trade it in on another truck. I don't know. Like, I don't want to feel like a soccer mom with it. But to my defense, the Crossroad, JP and I have been talking about this. Crossroad doesn't look so. The regular Dodge Journey definitely just a plain base model of the SE looks like a family SUV. But the Crossroad, like I've got, actually does have more of a rugged kind of like sporty lifestyle look to it. It was.
I like what you got, man.
It wasn't my first. It wasn't what I went there looking for. I went there for the Sierra, and then I ended up getting this on a whim.
Take
I'm
a page
enjoying
out of
it.
my book. Go find yourself a 2002 Daewoo Laganza. Pay about $1,000 for it. The cup holders suck, but it's a it's a classic.
But on that question, I would pick The Amazing Race.
You know, I've never watched that show. I get the premise, but I would choose MasterChef, number one, because that would mean that I could cook. I can't cook, but I guess if I was on that show, it'd mean I would. And I love Chef Gordon Ramsay. I mean, he melts me. Like, I love him so much. What Victor Strand does for me on Fear, Gordon Ramsay's been doing to me for years and years and years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do The Amazing Race because The Amazing Race allows you to travel. It still gives you oops, excuse me. I saw we literally just got a comment, and I was like, if this is a mail call question, we got to make sure we get it on here.
Right.
But anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna go with The Amazing Race because Survivor. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is surviving, but I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor is a lot more like the politics of
and drama, and it's kind of like Big Brother. It's kind of like a Big Brother. Like it's half of the game is like gossiping, and
right.
Yeah, I don't really care for all of that. Like The Amazing Race is straight up. You got a partner. You're traveling around the world or around an area, and you're doing contests and stuff. I've always thought The Amazing Race was actually of the shows. I don't really care to be on a reality show, but of the ones out there, The Amazing Race was always like the one I said I would like to be on.
All right, man. This looks like a good one. Jonas Balili, which I'm sure I butchered again, but who'd you rather, man? I like this. Find in your bed, Alicia or Luciana?
Alicia.
If it's Alicia with radiation poisoning, I'd probably go with Luciana.
What does that matter? She can't give it to you in the bedroom.
Can you not get it sexually?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Really?
That's not how radiation poising works.
I don't know.
Let me Google that and make sure I didn't just make myself sound like a dumbass.
I don't know. I just figure if like irradiated blood from a walker could get you sick, then vag juice.
Yeah, well, that's a good point
too. I don't know. But I'm going with Luciana anyway. She I don't really like her on the show, but I like a spicy dish. So
okay.
All right. Who would you rather meet during a hiking trip, Alpha or Negan?
That's a tough question. I mean, I guess I'd rather meet Negan because at least I don't know.
Now, are we going with reform Negan or are we going with Negan at the height of his power?
I'm imagining since he put him up against Alpha, we're going against like evil Negan.
Yeah, I mean, even though I might get my brains bashed in, I'd rather meet Negan because at least he's charismatic, and I don't want to be a whisperer. I'm not trying to wear any like dead skin face or whatever. So, and Alpha, her accent is just annoying, man. As people who live like not in the deep South, but in the South, like, I don't like Alpha. So yeah, I would go with Negan as well.
Well, at least Negan might make you laugh before he kills you.
Yeah, exactly. And if you become a part of Negan's inner circle, man, you got it made pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, have a drink with Abraham or Strand.
So the radiation poisoning, I don't know about the body fluids, but I mean, if she had a lot of radiation on her, it'd be possible for her to spread it to you. I don't know about the sex thing yet. I might be completely wrong on that. And if I am, kiss my ass.
It's not something.
Kiss my. It's not my area of study, but I didn't think so. But you might be right. So either way, I'm still probably going with Alicia.
You're still going.
I just
with
find
Alicia.
her to be incredibly gorgeous.
She is, man. They're both very.
I don't know that
gals.
I could resist.
But yeah. Next is who you gonna have a drink with, Abraham or Strand? My answer obviously is Strand because he melts me, and me, him, and Luciana could have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So,
but they're going to have a drink with Abraham for several reasons. One, hopefully he would bring a cigar, of which I enjoy.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I would have to worry about Abraham having something up his sleeve or planning to betray me or having some ulterior motive.
Yeah, but that's
3, Though Strand would definitely be great to ponder the mysteries of the universe with, Abraham's one-liners would be hilarious to get drunk to. The drunker you get, the funnier they probably would be. So I'm going to go with Abraham on that one.
All right.
Plus, I really was not happy that he died on that episode. Just a chance to be around Abraham again. I'm going to take it.
Yeah. All righty. I lost my place. Join the Conspiracy Podcast. Father Gabriel or Eugene?
Eugene.
Ah, man, that's a tough one. Father Gabriel gives me the creeps. Eugene's euphemisms get on my nerves sometimes. But, I'd go with Eugene, too, I guess. I feel like it'd be better conversation.
Well, I feel like he'd be more into some of the conspiracies, whereas Father Gabriel would just be like, why am I here?
Right, yeah.
Where's Rosita?
Yeah, Father Gabriel definitely gives me the creeps.
I have to meet with Negan in a while.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, meat jelly. I let all of my people in my church die.
All right. Coincidentally, Uber pool with Glenn or Jerry?
Oh, Jerry. Jerry, without a doubt. Jerry rocks, man.
Yeah, but if it's a really compact car, Jerry's going to take a lot more space.
That's true. A lot of the Ubers I see, though, seem to have like pretty spacious like SUVs or whatnot.
Yeah,
but
I've been in some tight Ubers. Not that I've even been in a lot of Ubers. We live in a town where
if space wasn't an issue, definitely Jerry. But I mean, I guess if it's a tight space, and I'm gonna pick Glenn. But
I think the world will have like transport technology before our town has like readily available Ubers. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about having a drink with somebody, man. Jerry would be awesome to have a drink with.
Yeah.
That actor too that plays him. Forgive me for not knowing his name, but he just seems like a really awesome dude in real life too. So it's great to see. Like maybe he's not even acting that much as Jerry. Like that's just kind of his personality.
Mm-hmm. Get arrested by John Dory or Shane. That's an easy one.
John Dory.
Yeah, I ain't getting arrested by Shane.
Especially if I've been drinking. I've got a tendency to run my mouth. Shane would beat my ass and, like handcuff me and just like beat me on the curb. John Dory would just be the kind of like, all right, friend, let's lay you down here and let you rest. Sleep it off.
Not to mention Shane will bang your wife.
While beating your ass.
Yeah. So, no thanks, Shane. All right, smack across the face, Henry or younger Carl?
That is tough.
That is tough. I'd go with Henry.
I'm going with, well, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, no, just because, younger Carl, that was I've never really wanted to smack a little kid in the face.
Well, younger Carl annoyed me, but also, too, younger Carl was just a little kid. Imagine being 10 or 11 years old in the zombie apocalypse, whereas Henry, I wanted to smack even when he was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
So probably Henry. And two, I would feel less of a jerk smacking a 16-year-old kid versus smacking
That's what I'm thinking.
Like a 10-year-old child.
Yeah. All right. Be your plus one at a wedding, Rosita or Michonne? I don't know about you. I'm going with Michonne just because I'm an ass man. She got a butt I want to bite into. So I'm going with Michonne. Rosita.
I feel like Michonne would be a better date because I feel like Rosita's always in a bad mood. So you're going to a wedding, you're getting festive. We've seen Michonne, though Michonne can be dark and grumpy herself. She also has a very fun, lighthearted side, and probably, and she's very intelligent. So she probably would make for good conversation by the cocktail bar as your plus one. Have some drinks, dance, smile. I feel like Rosita would be the kind, she'd just be in a bad mood the entire time you're there. You show up and you're like, yeah, my date's hot, but she hates everyone and everything. So I'm probably going to go with you there and say I'm going to take Michonne.
Yeah. Get drugged up with Nick or Merle.
Why are we drugged up?
Well,
are we doing this to ourselves, or are we saying like somebody drugged us up at a bar?
No, just who would you rather get high with?
Merle or who?
Or Nick. And remind me, Nick's drug of choice in like season 1, he was doing heroin, right? Was he a heroin guy?
What? Oh, you're talking about Nick from Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, who'd you think?
I'm sitting here like, there was no Nick on The Walking Dead. How am I forgetting a character? Yeah, Nick liked the heroin.
Yeah, that's why. And Merle,
I think he liked pain pills too, though. I think he just liked any opioid
guy. Yeah, and Merle was more of a. That's right, because
Merle smoked crystal meth.
Yeah.
Merle was. They both were into some hardcore drugs. I don't know that I want to get high with either one because, if it was a stoner choice, I would definitely go with that. But
Right. I'm
gonna go with Nick because Merle's the kind of guy that's he's grimy. Like he would get you high, and then if you got too high, he'd like beat you up and take your wallet, or you know what I'm saying. Like Nick would just pass out.
I would definitely go with Nick because for one thing, I mean the heroin, it's much more of a euphoric feeling at first. You can get a little sick, but I would definitely go with Nick. And with Merle, man, I mean, I've got a guy that I used to go to high school with was a meth head, and he just like a few months back blew a dude's dick off with a shotgun and pulled.
That's a true story.
Yeah, that was
a true story right up the road.
Yeah. I mean, it was in the newspaper. He lost like 5 grams of meth. Thought one of his meth buddies stole it from him. Tells him to follow him to a parking lot, and as soon as the guy gets out the car, he opens the door up, blasts him in the crotch with a shotgun, and just rides off. They find him a few days, and it turns out the meth was just like in a pocket he didn't check or something.
Right.
It was crazy. So yeah, I would definitely go with Nick. I would go with the heroin.
I feel like that episode of South Park I showed you with the gluten, where it was like, we've all heard rumors about what gluten can do, like blah 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 blah. Make your dick fly off, and Randy Marsh was like, make your dick fly off.
Yeah.
I feel like when you said that, when you were like, he just blew some dude's dick off, I imagine somebody was like, blew his dick off.
Yeah.
So now you know the story of how JP's old meth friend blew someone's dick off.
Yeah, man.
Usually the term blowing a dick off is a good thing. In this instance, it was not.
No. I'm like his dick like wasn't just obliterated, but it was a life-changing injury.
How do you know that? Like, how do you know that his dick was? I mean, a shotgun point blank to the dick, I imagine it really wouldn't be much dick left.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I know it was birdshot. I know it wasn't like buck. But
I mean, still, that's a lot of pellets. I mean, your dick would look like Swiss cheese.
And man, maybe we can get him on the podcast and take a look.
Only if he's going to show us his dick his lack thereof.
Clearly, but and just like I like to sleep. I like to pass out after a good night of drugging, and with meth, you stay up for like days, and that's definitely one of the drawbacks.
I don't know, though. Are we getting high in the zombie apocalypse? Because then you might want to do meth. You might want to stay up for days. You know what I'm saying? Like heroin, a lot of times you get euphoric and then you like pass out and then you just open season for walkers that go by. At least crystal meth, you get like superhuman strength and you stay awake for days at a time.
Yeah, it depends on the setting.
So you know what? I'm changing mine. I'm going to do meth with Merle.
Get meth with Merle?
Yeah, because my whole complaint with Merle was that you'd like pass out or get too high and he would take your shit. But you're right. I didn't think about that. His drug of choice being crystal meth, you probably would just be up. And I mean, you might get to fighting, but you're going to be super powered too and just wired. So
it'd be scary in the zombie world though, man, because meth makes you so paranoid. You're going to think every little creep or.
Well, hell, you probably already think that because you're in a world consumed by the. I think Robert Kirkman said back in the beginning of The Walking Dead that the number, it was 5,000 zombies for every person alive. So I imagine you were already ridiculously paranoid.
But yeah, I'll get high with Nick. All right, this one is more up your alley. Playable Mortal Kombat character, Jesus or Beta?
Oh, Jesus. You'd have way cooler combos and stuff. Like Beta's a badass, but Beta's just kind of a brute. Brute characters I've never really enjoyed playing fighting games with. I like the quick, nimble characters.
I feel like the
just
like visually, Beta would be cool to see on a video game.
Oh, no doubt. Beta would absolutely be cooler to see, but if we're picking who we want to play as, I'd rather play as Jesus. Beta be one of those characters, though, like 1 or 2 hits, he'd probably take you out, whereas Jesus, you'd have to do all these combos, but I feel like Jesus would have more options.
All right, now this last one,
and he saves people. So
yeah, he does save people. You're going to have to help me out with this one now, where who joins the barn of pleasure? Now, if you don't know what we're talking about, we did some role playing in a couple podcasts past, where King Ezekiel has this
surprising homosexual streak that we never knew about.
He likes to seduce men and bring them into a barn of pleasure, and women too. It's just
on last week's episode, he got Rick into the barn of pleasures, right?
Yeah.
Rick was like, "Dare Bear, let's go!"
Yeah,
into the barn,
and Ezekiel's just like
shoving.
Oh, you don't know what you're getting into, Rick. Oh my goodness, I have a whole trough full of baby oil. I found it in an abandoned pharmacy.
Baby oil's a lubricant.
Oh, yes, it is.
I can handle that.
Oh, well, you're going to be handling.
If I can handle Jadis and a spike through the hand, I can handle whatever you're going to shove up my butt, Ezekiel. Dare Bear, show him. Get that crossbow.
That's the attitude I like to hear. But anyway, join the Barn of Pleasure. Dale, which is a strange choice, or Tammy Rose. Who is Tammy Rose?
Tammy is Earl's wife. They got her head on a spike, the old lady. Older lady. I'm being, all right, you know what? There's nothing I find that attractive about. I mean, which then again, that was her on the show. I don't try to judge them too. They always try to make them look a little rougher on The Walking Dead than they look in real life. But the character, I don't find attractive. However, I am a straight male. So I am still going to go with the choice of Vag over Dale.
Dude,
I knew you were going to go for Dale, man. If there's a chance to go slightly homosexual, JP will take it.
Nah, I mean, I'm not attracted to either one, much like yourself.
But you have to pick one. It's the Barn of Pleasures, JP. You've got to pick one.
I think King Ezekiel would say, Dale, you said you didn't want to lose yourself in the apocalypse. Well, prepare to lose your anal virginity.
I wonder if like Dale would be against that like he was with Shane, so he would go hide all the sex toys in the woods, and then you'd have that same scene, but it'd be Dale and King Ezekiel, and he'd be like, brother, if you're gonna do it, then do it. He's got like a bag of dildos and sex toys. I'm taking these back to the Barn of Pleasures, Dale, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it. Dale pulls the gun up, gives him that Dale face, and says, you know what? I might not have what it takes to survive, but at least I can say when the world went to shit, it didn't drag me down with it. Brother, we're very clean in the Barn of Pleasures. There's no shit.
Oh, man.
I'm going with Tammy Rose. I'm going to go with the female.
Yeah, on this occasion, I'll go with Tammy Rose because
she's good at giving head.
Yeah. Oh,
but
nice. Yeah, and Dale just got on my nerves from like Jump Street. So
I like Dale, man. I like Dale a lot. I just I hate the way it went down because the actor playing him was really good friends with Frank Darabont. When Frank Darabont was no longer attached to the project, he said he wanted to be written off. And actually, I read that he had a change of heart, like that episode, like filming that. Like, you know what? I don't think I want to be written off. And they were just like, look, sorry, it's set in motion now. And so then he kind of left not wanting to. I like Dale, man, but I've always, for some reason, liked those moral compasses. I mean, some of them are boring. Yeah. Some of them I don't like. But
like
Herschel
what Morgan's turned into.
I will say the one good thing about Dale dying is between Dale and Herschel, I liked Herschel better. Maybe it's because we got more time with him, got to know him a little bit more intimately. I don't know. But I liked Herschel better. So if there's one good thing about Dale dying, it's that it gave Herschel room to kind of become that moral compass. Mm-hmm. Because originally, Herschel wasn't really much of a moral compass. He's like, I'll fix your son, and then you're off my land.
Here, yeah.
You know, so that was the plus. But I like Dale, man. I hate when a lot of people didn't, apparently, though.
I'm sorry, Dale, you were not allowed in the Barn of Pleasures, but Beta, Alpha, I can show you other uses for those pikes.
Ooh, man, they'd be nasty. You imagine the smells they'd bring along?
We're going to give you a good scrub down before you enter. Believe me. Anyway, all right.
Dale, you are the weakest link.
Yes.
Jerry, pull up your pants and escort him from the Barn of Pleasures.
Oh, Lord. All right, speaking about personality, to add to what you're both saying, I feel you both have a little Jerry's personality, too. So
wow. I don't see that for either of us, but that's really cool. But I mean, we don't see ourselves the way other people do.
Yeah,
so.
I guess that's cool. It means we're both kind of lighthearted and jolly.
Yeah. I love Jerry, though, so I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, definitely worst characters we could be compared to.
No doubt. All right, I feel Brienne McCann's big stack here. We're saving that for last. Let's see, and we got them all together. Eternal Wreck, two for here. Have y'all heard of the Walking Dead whiskey coming out in October? Eternal Wreck, I have not, but thanks to you, I will be going to get it. And it will be in my man cave.
The wine being in the grocery store, I never picked up a bottle.
If you see another bottle, you're not in there as much as you used to. But if you see another bottle, will you do me a favor and pick it up for me? I think I checked hours in my town and it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, dude, it was like marked down a while back, but it still was just more than I wanted to see.
Yeah, if you see it, grab it for me, especially now that I know there's going to be a whiskey. I'd love to have the two. But no, I will be going to get two of those Eternal Wreck and actually go to the beach in October, so it depends on when it comes out. I always take whiskey with me to the beach, usually Jack Daniels and or Jack and Honey. So I might grab a bottle of Jack and Honey and then a bottle of the Walking Dead whiskey to take with me to the beach.
I was trying to see if that Walking Dead wine is like on Amazon.
And then
but I'm not seeing it.
One I'll keep that I will not open. That'll go in the man cave. Also, I like the Weird Wednesday idea. I want you all to do a podcast about Elon Musk, Neuralink. I feel like this is something very similar to it. Have you all ever heard of Neuralink? I haven't. But
I have. I mean, I won't say I haven't heard of it. I really don't. I can't expound on it, but I do like the Elon Musk topic, and yeah, that's something we'll definitely cover.
Eternal Rec, one thing you can't see, and I actually was just talking to JP about how in radio or any kind of like sound medium without a video or visual component, you shouldn't do this, but I'm going to break the rules. But we've been throwing these away as we get done with them. I folded yours up, and I'm keeping yours so that I can remember that we're going to do a podcast on that.
Oh man, there's I see on eBay you can get they had like a different bottle of wine for different characters, and you can get all 4 bottles for like $70.
Who are the characters?
You've got
Rick, probably, right?
Blood Red Blend, and that looks like Rick.
Are these comic characters though?
Yeah. You got a Chardonnay with Michonne on it. You got Sauvignon Blanc with Glen. And then you just got a Cabernet Sauvignon with Walker.
Let me see that. Hold on. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Just keep that up. I just want to see what it looks like. But yeah, Eternal Rec will definitely do that. And if you're wondering what he's talking about with Weird Wednesdays, if you didn't listen yesterday, we're doing away with the whole Paranormal Tuesday, Conspiracy Wednesday, because they kind of bleed together sometimes. So what we're just going to do is we're going to call it Weird Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, we're going to have either paranormal or a conspiracy. We're just going to get weird every Wednesday. Dude, these look really cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's definitely Rick.
Yeah.
They're weird, though. They're kind of a cross between comic and show characters. Because in the comic, Rick doesn't have the revolver. Like, that's not a signature thing. Yet in this, he's got it, but he looks kind of like a sheriff. Michonne doesn't look that much like comic Michonne, but she also doesn't look like show Michonne. It's probably like a third party just
man.
got the rights.
But
not
picking those up. Like I said,
yeah, those are
$20 for a bottle of wine. I'm not a big wine drinker,
but you are a big Walking Dead fan.
Yeah,
you got 10 missed calls, man.
Do I?
Come on now. Oh, all right. Who's next?
Next up is Kim Youngero or Youngero.
It's Kim Younger, isn't it?
You know, there's an O at the end.
Oh, that's probably. Let me see it.
Is it just
flip it over real
Kim
quick?
Young
Let me
Zero?
see. I think it's Kim Younger. I don't know how the zero got there.
Okay. Well, either way, if you could have an unlimited storage of one thing, what would it be? Mine would be,
unlimited storage?
Yeah. Mine would just be mental capacity because I can't really retain knowledge like I used to. So
yeah, I can't either, but I don't know that that's getting older and our brain not working as well, or if it's just so much you occupy so much more of your brain than you used to.
Yeah, maybe so.
I mean, you got bills now, you've got job, you've got relationship. There's just so many more things that in entertainment and things that you use your brain to remember.
Comic books, that's definitely something that takes up a lot of space in my house.
Yeah, for me, it would be comics or knives, knowledge.
Yeah.
Junk. I could use a whole nother room just to put junk in.
Who's? Just like a whore room.
Like an endless supply of whores?
Yeah, endless supply of just a literal barn of pleasures.
A barn of pleasures.
Yeah, God, we keep going back to that.
It's destiny. If we build it, they will come.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If we build it, they will come.
Let's just make a sex club,
That's King Ezekiel's new slogan. I've built the barn of pleasures. I've always been of the mindset that if you build it, Rick will come.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
They will come.
Yeah.
Except Dale. Fuck you, Dale. Stay away from the barn of pleasures.
Yeah, you really put us in a pinch with the Dale and the Tammy Rose thing.
Yeah. Tammy, I'm not excited to have sex with you. I'm not going to lie. But when I look out at Dale across the field pouting, I feel I can make this work.
Yeah, with Dale, it's just an attitude thing. It really is. I think we're down to Brienne.
Yeah, we are. I just imagine Dale comes into the barn of pleasures and everybody's like, oh, God, because he's going to get all philosophical and be like, you You shouldn't shove that up that man's butt. That's not natural. Dale, it's the bond of pleasures. Daryl likes having Rick's revolver in his anus, and Dale's just trying to be all righteous. It's like, Dale, I'm not going to lie. This is why you're not allowed into the bond of pleasures. If you will please, Jerry, once again, pants up and get this little man out of here. That was your one and only chance, Dale. Yeah, Dale. What me and Daryl do's between us.
Ooh, Brianne got some good stuff.
Yeah, Brianne's got a list here. Brianne keeps mail call alive, let me tell you. All right, so Brianne, starting with the questions. Do you hope flying cars like the Jetsons cartoon or Back to the Future will ever exist? Well, I mean,
do we hope they do, or do we think
we hope they do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't really I will fly. I don't love flying, so that might be something to get over. But other than that,
I definitely won't be like driving the first wave of them.
No, no, I need this to be like going on for about 10, 20 years just for my safety. What is your go-to dish that you never get tired of eating?
I love Japanese food, like steak, shrimp, rice, the whole thing there. I love me some Japanese.
I'm glad you said that because I really was just going to say steak. Like, I never get tired of steak. I believe I could cook a ribeye. I love all kinds. Ribeyes, New York strips, T-bones, filet mignon. Like, I like all. That's how I would vary it up is we'd have a different cut of steak every day.
Right.
But that's not necessarily a dish. So I'm glad you said that.
Die of like prostate cancer at the age of 40.
No doubt.
All that red meat.
I'm with you though. Japanese is kind of a dish. Like I can go to the Japanese place and get like a steak and shrimp combo with the vegetables, and I can't ever think of a time where I didn't feel like that. You know what I mean? When somebody was like, there are times where you and I, it's like, do you want to go to Arby's? And we're like, do you want to go to Burger King? You want to go to this place, that place? I feel like I've never been told, do you want to go get Japanese? And was like, I'm always like, yeah.
I could eat it every day.
All day, every day. All right, JP, this one's for you. Would you rather be bald or covered with hair from head to toe?
Well, it's interesting.
Well, she says here's a good one, JP. So I'm going to I guess that's exclusive to you, so I'm not going to answer it. That's only for you.
Well, I mean, it's funny she should ask that because I am covered in hair and I am going bald, so it sucks. I mean...
Like JP's a hairy dude.
Yeah, I'm a hairy guy, and I'm significantly balding. So.
Like probably the hairiest guy I know. I mean, he's got hair protruding out of his biceps. I'm a very Wolverine-ish though. Wolverine was a hairy fellow,
and it's there have been summers, especially when I was still working in the grocery store. I would shave down my arms just because it would be a lot more comfortable.
I believe it.
Cooler, but. Yeah,
which actually you probably stay cooler with the hair because the hair keeps the sweat beads there and keeps your body cooler.
Man, it's like
you just feel
sleeves on all day long.
Some people do that. Some people work like I've seen people that work out in fields and wear long sleeves in the summer because the sweat staying in there and all of that, it actually keeps you cooler.
Yeah, which I know with like
not like a cotton long sleeve shirt, obviously, but something that
Yeah, I know with pulling tobacco, you got to keep that like tobacco sap or whatever it is off your skin.
Oh, the good days. What do you fear about getting older? Missing out on stuff, I think. Like growing old and not feeling fulfilled, I think is probably my biggest fear.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much becoming a reality. But that is probably my biggest fear about getting older.
Yeah, I really worry about just being stuck like in the here, like just how things are right now or how things are going to stay. And I'll never get out there and chase what I want to chase. And, and I have a million excuses for why I'm still here in the here and now. But at the end of the day, it's just a long streak of cowardice in me.
Maybe if the podcast gets big enough, we can actually travel in podcasts, like do a traveling podcast.
Yeah, man.
Have a little mobile setup.
We say this about our lives and all this, but I mean, there's been more good come our way in the last year or two than bad. I mean, we really don't have that much to complain about, but I don't know.
Yeah. When you were little, what did you want to be? I went through phases, man. At one point, I wanted to dig up dinosaurs after I saw Jurassic Park. At one point, I wanted to be in the Army.
Right.
Probably because my dad was at one point. It was weird. I didn't graduate high school knowing what I wanted to do. Like I never really had like a set, kind of like with dream cars. I have a lot of dream cars, like we talked about last podcast, but I've never really had that one that just was like all I could think about. The closest thing would probably be the NSX, or the Dodge Challenger. But I never really had one career I was dead set on. Radio, probably, when I was younger. I remember we took these aptitude tests, and it was like all fun and games. It wasn't an actual thing, but like you answered questions to see what you should try to be when you grow older, and mine came up with like radio personality.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. What about you?
I always wanted to be a stand-up comic, like really little. We got the Adam Sandler CDs, and I grew up watching Seinfeld. I also thought an archaeologist would be a really cool thing.
Right, yeah, so we both went through that.
And like writing, I thought it'd be cool to be like a journalist.
A writer is probably, it's a lot I don't think about. Writer, probably. I wanted to do something with comedy. I always would love to have been like in a comedy show, or I don't know that I ever wanted to necessarily do stand-up, but something like, I know I wanted to do sketch comedy for a long time, because we've written down some really funny stuff.
When I was in college, I was actually going to major in like broadcast journalism or something, like try to be a newsman or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, God, it's getting me a little depressed.
I'm telling you, the last two or three have been kind of depressing. Yeah. Which they weren't depressing questions. We just made them depressing.
Yeah, we're just full of angst and internal
conflict. Yeah. If you could live anywhere, well, we're both in our heads all the time, so I think that's a big factor there. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would that be? For a whole year, though?
Oh, Amsterdam, prostitutes and legal drugs.
God, man, you'd overdose, or you definitely would contract something that would lead to your end. You spending a year in Amsterdam would definitely lead to the end of JP.
Yeah, but it'd be a beautiful end.
Yeah, I guess it would be. I don't know. That's really hard to say if it's not somewhere I haven't been before. You know what? I'm going to be boring as hell. JP's going to roll his eyes, but I'm going to go with Ocean Lakes down in good old South Carolina. The only reason I say that is I don't know that I'll like Amsterdam. Right. I don't know that I'll like Japan or Italy. I mean, you're talking about going somewhere you're completely unfamiliar with for an entire year. If we were talking about a week, it'd be totally different. I'd say Italy, would love Italy, and then say I could spend a year there. But right now, I'm going somewhere I know brings me joy.
That's your happy place. I did spend about a week down in New Mexico. I could see myself spending a lot of time out there, man.
DC would be fun to spend a year in. I could do DC
traffic,
for you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not really much on city life, but I mean, if I was going to, I could maybe do DC.
Yeah.
You can just use a subway and stuff up there. Just don't drive. Just take other means of transportation.
Yeah, it can, yeah.
Let's see. What motivates you to get up every morning? Well, now I don't really have motivation. There's baby cries.
Yeah.
The fact that I'll be fired if I don't come in and do my job, I don't really know. I don't really have motivation in the mornings. I really have trouble getting out of bed. Like I have to wake up 30 minutes beforehand just to spend 30 minutes on the phone scrolling through social media to wake up.
Yeah, I have to wake up at about 5:30, then move to the couch and sleep there for about another 30 minutes, and then spend another 30 minutes.
That's bizarre. Why do you do that again? Why do you get up and move to the bed like a half hour before it's time to get up and go to work? Why do you move from the bed to the sofa? Sorry.
Well, I don't want my alarm waking up the old lady, and
So you don't do this every morning?
No, I do it every morning. Now it's just routine, and
so you just wake up though.
I like waking up alone, dude. I really do. Like even when I used to have like if it was like just a one night hookup, a lot of times I would just get up before she'd wake up and go do something or go lay on the couch. I don't know, man.
I can agree. I can understand that. I feel like I was the same way. I mean, I'm greedy. I like to spread out. Like I like the whole bed to myself.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying I like to sleep alone, but it's weird. I like to wake up alone. It's very strange. I'm a weird cat.
I think after 2 or 3 years of listening to this podcast, where the people have deduced that we're both pretty damn weird. Let's see. What has been your best moment this year so far? I mean, I guess I'd be a crappy person if I didn't say having a child, right? That kind of puts it. Some of these questions really aren't good for me because I really don't have a choice here. Like if I was to be like, getting voted, blah, blah, blah. No, but I mean, really, having a daughter was super cool and awesome and just life-changing. And just filled me with all kinds of joy I didn't know existed. So I'll definitely go with becoming a dad.
I tried a couple of new different. For me, it would be being able to quit my job and just do something different. I'm gassy. I'm sorry. Just doing radio full time, which a lot of that sales, which can be a stress all in itself.
Pain in the arse.
But no, I left a job of almost 10 years that I was worried I'd be stuck in forever. And so, yeah, that would be it for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, having like I said, I feel like now that I've had a daughter, sometimes JP gets these really cool questions and mine are just like, how's your baby doing? Like, is that all I am now? Is the guy on the podcast with a kid? And like with that, I feel like there's no other. I mean, it probably was my best moment this year. Right. But I feel like if I would have said anything else, I would instantly be a shitty person.
I think if it was like my best like singular moment, man, it was our buddy Matt Crowder had his big album release show, and I helped put it together for him, and he called me up on stage and gave me that plaque, and that was really cool, man. That's like we're just talking about a singular moment. That was probably it for me.
Yeah, I figured that meant a lot to you. Mine, again, is becoming a dad. But let's see. And a message from Brianne before we wrap up. Okay, that's all for now. Listeners, listen up, listeners. Brianne's talking to you. If you don't want to hear Brianne's questions the entire time, then please feel free to contribute. Until that happens, I'm going to keep on trucking through and ensuring the survival of this podcast because it's one of my favorites. Well, you're one of our favorites, Brian.
Yeah, so. Brian, you do help keep things going, keep the podcast alive, and we thank you for it.
Absolutely.
And, a little announcement. We're talking to somebody about some merch very soon. Brian, you and, everybody's going to benefit. We're talking to somebody about some merch today. They're going to do some graphic designs for us. So people who have been helping to keep the podcast alive via Patreon or just via being involved with likes and comments, we're going to be looking out for you.
Boom. Looking out for you. So, yeah, thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Thank you for everybody for making this possible. Like I said, please ask those questions. We see a lot of people say, I love to listen to Mail Call. I just don't ask any questions. But I mean, we can't survive if we don't get questions. So if we don't get to the point where we get any more questions than we do, we'll probably take this to like a once a month podcast where we're just kind of at the end of the month, accumulate all these questions, and then it'll be a podcast with a bunch of questions. Yeah. But if we start getting enough, then we'll keep it a weekly thing.
Yeah, we're going to keep the communication open. Like, say, if you had a specific question about the podcast we did yesterday, obviously we'll address it when we come back around a weird Wednesday or whatever it would happen to be. So we're going to keep communicating. It may evolve a little bit, but the channels are open.
Yep. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend.
Me too, man. If you're a listener with a spooky story, email us or hit us up. We might get you on here.
If you have a way to record your account and then email it to us, maybe we can make a clip show or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
So, we'll see you on Monday as we discuss the Fear of the Walking Dead finale. If JP holds up to what he's saying, he's supposed to be coming down on Sunday to watch it.
That's right.
And then we're going to go live on YouTube. So it'll be a YouTube live right after Fear of the Walking Dead's finale. So if you are, I know, and we'll still do the podcast the next day because we know people are in different time zones and they might not be able to watch it live per se. So I don't know. As of right now, there'll still be a Monday podcast. If that changes, we'll let you know. But we're definitely going to go live Sunday after the episode. So hopefully you'll be able to log on and see that.
Yeah, and hopefully I can catch up on some episodes I missed. So.
Yeah, you've got quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a few. Be safe. Have a good weekend, and we'll catch you Monday. I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
We're the Podcasting Dead.